Coming up on Point News, the resignation of a USG member.
The firing of a head coach in Point Park Athletics.
And break out the winter coats. We're talking potential record-breaking lows. A look at your weekend weather. Point News starts now.
Live from the Point Park University Broadcast Center in downtown Pittsburgh, this is Point News.
Good afternoon, I'm Francesca Franzalio.
And I'm Bill Steinbach. We start the show with a big headline from on campus. The Vice President of United Student Government, Davian Heron, has stepped down from his position. Heron officially resigned as VP on Friday, November 3rd. Heron has said the reason for leaving the position is a personal issue and that he would not be taking further questions on the matter. Throughout his career in student government, Heron served as Vice President, Recording Secretary, and Senator. USG President Bobby Bertha has until tomorrow to present his nominee to USG senators. The senators' vote will take place on November 13th. And speaking of local elections, Point News reporter Casey Houlihan had the chance to catch up with some students voting in local elections this past Tuesday.
It took me less than an hour to board this shuttle, go vote, and come back, but sadly, many students won't take the time to vote in local elections today. This past week, a special shuttle ran from campus to Epiphany Church for students to vote in the local elections. These elections will determine our state's county and district judges, along with members of the Superior and Supreme Court. Pittsburgh Mayor Bill Peduto is running unopposed. Despite the convenience of the shuttle, voter turnout was relatively low, which was disheartening to some students.
The more people you're able to get out and vote, the more change you're able to bring, and you can make a difference. You can be the change, and you can have a voice.
The shuttle to the polls was arranged by Point Park students as a part of the group Next Gen.
Next Gen is a multi-state national campaign that has a vested interest in turning students out to vote on progressive issues.
Students who did participate in voting were awarded with a sticker and the pride of exercising their civic duty. Reporting for Point News, I'm Casey Houlihan.
Continuing with campus news, this past Tuesday evening, Point Park's United Student Government held a unique event hoping to encourage students to openly communicate with USG.
It's perfect. It's made for students to actually come and actually talk to USG members and actually give us their concerns, compliments, and suggestions that they have about the school.
Instead of a formal forum, USG held a complaint carnival, which featured a variety of colorful carnival games, giant Jenga, and carnival food, such as hand-spun cotton candy. For each complaint or concern a student filed, they received a ticket, which they used to enter a raffle for a variety of prizes. If you have a comment or concern for USG, you can send them an email or stop by their office on the 7th floor of the Student Center.
In other campus news, Point Park Athletics are facing a staff change-up. Point Park cut ties with its head volleyball coach Friday. The athletic department announcing the decision last Friday ahead of this weekend's conference tournament. Officials declined to comment on specifics of the firing. Players also declined to comment. Bridget Bielich is serving as the interim head coach. She has served as the assistant head coach under Bruno for the past 3 seasons. Bruno coached at Point Park since 2005 and is the all-time winningest coach in the program's history. He was named Conference Coach of the Year last season. Bruno told the Globe he will not pursue other coaching opportunities at this time. The university has released a statement saying it will not comment further on the personal matter. Bruno told the Globe, quote, "I don't want to focus on the last week of my career. I want to focus on the whole body of work." The Pioneers travel to the Indiana University East for this weekend's conference tournament.
Now to this. Identity theft isn't something most students worry about, but maybe they should. Point News reporter Taylor Fife has all you need to know on how to protect yourself.
Identity theft. It's often the last thing on a young college student's mind. But unfortunately, criminals are always looking for an easy target. In 2016, the rate of identity theft hit an all-time high, with 31% of victims falling between the ages of 18 and 29. Former FBI agent and certified identity theft expert Andrew Richards explains why this age
All right, so Josh, I heard it's going to be a little bit cold. Let's toss it to Josh for weather.
Thanks a lot, Fran. And as you can see on your screen there, 50 degrees the high today, 27 as you woke up this morning. Very sunny outside today, and you will see the temperatures start to fall as the day progresses. Now, you see that 50-degree mark up there as your high? That will begin to drop starting in the next couple hours. A cold front moving through the region, and this weekend we could see some record-breaking lows in some cities. Is Pittsburgh going to be one of them? Will Pittsburgh see some of those record lows? How low will it get? Is the S word going to come up in the forecast? That being snow. We'll see coming up later in the forecast. I'll have the weekend outlook for you later in the show. Fran, Bill, back to you.
Thanks, Josh. Coming up next on Point News, the latest on the mass shooting in Texas.
Plus, we also have the latest on the Saudi Arabian government takeover.
Point News will be right back.
Why should you watch and focus?
Because, why not?
Turn. Why should you watch and focus? Because I produce it.
Welcome to In Focus.
Hello. This is so we don't run out of time.
Put up a goal just because it...
And a little bit closer, please. Let me bring this in. Yeah, I wanted to do a game. So,
game time.
All right, game over. Oh, wow. Did we get that?
Darius, why do you watch and focus? Why do you watch and focus? Because In Focus is great. Chris! Game time! Game time! It's not game time. It's a promo.
Start your morning with us. I'm your host, Jess Paterchek.
And I'm your host, Alex Grubbs.
Good morning and welcome to another episode
That is what
of
happened at the
Daybreak. I'm
cathedral
your host,
on Monday.
WPXI. The state wants to take
Monday.
$357 million out of a trust fund that
Some
is
of that
typically
wintry
devoted.
mixed stuff could get me.
I'm gonna care for you.
What up? The diva himself. Only on Daybreak.
55% of all U.S. multiracial adults have been subjected to racial slurs or jokes.
Where were you born? Being smart, pale, to Filipino, to go back to Mexico.
There goes that black boy over there. You like fried chicken because you're light skinned. You are a cop. You think that you're better than us. The N-word.
They're good at jumping or climbing. Border hopper. Made taco. English your second language. Where's your green card?
Cut the jokes. Stop the stereotypes.
Welcome back to Point News. Now we move on to national news. An unprecedented scale of arrests took place in Saudi Arabia this past week. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman ordered the arrests of dozens of the country's most influential figures on Sunday. Included in the arrests were 11 of his royal cousins, the kingdom's richest investor, sitting and former cabinet members, including the biggest rival to the Crown Prince's power. The arrest Sunday came just hours after the Crown Prince was named as head of the new Anti-Corruption Commission. President Trump appeared to endorse the arrest, tweeting Tuesday, "I have great confidence in King Salman and the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. They know exactly what they are doing. Some of those they have been harshly treating have been milking their country for years." The president made Saudi Arabia the destination of his first foreign trip in office back in May.
The largest mass shooting in Texas history happened in a Baptist church this past Sunday. Point News reporter Claire Costello has the latest details on that developing story.
There's no prompt there. Okay. New information is being released on Texas shooter Devin Patrick Kelly, who opened fire at a church in Sutherland Springs, Texas on Sunday, killing 26 people. The incident raised a lot of questions regarding the gunman's past. Although Kelly is dead, police have discovered numerous red flags from the shooter's past in the last week. Kelly was taken into custody back in 2012 after allegedly abusing his former wife and stepson. He escaped from a mental hospital in the same year after being accused of sending death threats to superiors. Kelly is also said to have had recently disturbed neighbors for several days in a row with noise from rapid-fire gunshots. Kelly's conviction for domestic assault to civil law enforcement was not properly reported back in 2012, which would have restricted him from purchasing the firearms he used in the shooting. Authorities are now trying to analyze the gunman's cell phone after investigators obtained it through a search warrant. So far, investigators have not been able to unlock the phone and are not releasing the type of phone that it is. Kelly used his cell phone to call his father the day of the shooting to tell him he had been shot and did not think he'd survive. Authorities say Kelly died of a self-inflicted gunshot. That's the latest from Texas. Back to Bill and Fran at the desk.
Thanks, Claire. Well, talk about a cool down. We're talking about potential record-breaking lows this weekend.
Josh, can you tell us if we have any sunshine to look forward to this weekend?
So sunshine is one thing. Now the winter coats and the winter jackets, that's another thing. Fran, the temperature's starting to fall today. Get out there in the next couple hours for your last chance at that maybe some brisk fall temperatures. 50 degrees the high, like I said, today already. But looking into the weekend, Sunday, let's hold that for later. 40% chance of rain, not looking good. But Friday, that's the day that we're all looking for around this region. Some record-setting low temperatures throughout the mid-Atlantic. We could see temperatures go as low as 15 degrees in some parts of the Northeast. Pittsburgh will see a high of 32 on Friday, low of 21, and the wind chill will be a factor this weekend. You could see 5, 10, 15-mile-an-hour winds at times between Friday and Saturday. It's 40 degrees the high on Saturday, 28 the low, but don't let that little increase of temperatures there fool you because it still will be chilly, especially with the 15-mile-an-hour wind gust at times. Sunday, 40% chance of rain on and off throughout the day, afternoon, some evening showers possible. This cold front is coming in and it's not affecting just Pittsburgh. It's affecting the entire region, the entire Northeast, Mid-Atlantic, all looking to bundle up this weekend. Guys.
Thanks, Josh. Well, Bill, it looks like we're going to be needing our winter coats soon.
I know, the galoshes, the boots, it's all bad.
I hate it.
Not a fan of it.
Neither am I. Coming up on Point News, what stores will and won't be open this Black Friday?
Plus, a look at the latest sports stories in the Berg.
All that and more up next, only on Point News.
I was you, I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. If I was you, I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. If I was you, I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too.
Spending just 7 minutes climbing stairs each day cuts your risk of a heart attack in half over 10 years. Sure, elevators are convenient, but you burn twice the number of calories just going upstairs than you do while jogging. Think about how long you spend waiting for elevators. The average person spends the equivalent of 2 years waiting for elevators over the course of their lifetime. Don't let that be you. Save time and increase energy. Next time, take the stairs.
I tell these guys all the time to stick to talking sports and not playing sports.
Here we go. Ready? Didn't make it.
Welcome back to Point News. We've got all you need to know on 2 upcoming November holidays, starting with Veterans Day.
Retail stores and restaurants are celebrating active and non-active military personnel with discounts and special offerings this Veterans Day. From a free car wash to a free haircut, almost all locations in these categories will participate. Lowe's Home Improvement and Home Depot are offering 10% off, while Red Roof Inn is offering 40% off of hotel rooms if booked in the month of November for a vacation up to the end of February. With an active military ID, military personnel can receive 20% off at Walgreens, 15% off at Under Armour, and 11% off at Dollar General. For the complete list, go to militarybenefits.info.
In the Pittsburgh area, there are some stores that will be opening on Thanksgiving to allow shoppers a head start on Black Friday shopping, including the Macy's at the South Hills Village Mall. It will open at 5 p.m. on Thanksgiving night and remain open until 10 p.m. on Black Friday. As of now, the South Hills Village Mall, the South Hills Village Macy's is the only Macy's in the area that will be open on Thanksgiving. Other stores that have announced that they will remain closed on Thanksgiving Day include Bass Pro Shops, GameStop, and Babies R Us.
Now we move on to the top sports stories this week with studio reporter Julie Gernick. Julie?
Smith-Schuster got his driver's license earlier this week by passing the behind-the-wheel portion of the driving test. And Schuster had waited to get his license due to his young age in high school and his college USC.
The Pittsburgh Steelers return to action this weekend after their bye week. The Black and Gold travel to Indianapolis to take on the Colts Sunday. Pittsburgh is currently riding a 3-game winning streak, and the Steelers topped the Detroit Lions 20-15 in Week 8 leading up to their bye week. One player the Steelers will get back this weekend is Martavis Bryant. Head coach Mike Tomlin announced that Bryant would not play against Detroit following controversial social media posts. The announcement also followed reports that Bryant wanted out of Pittsburgh. Tomlin confirmed this week that his wideout will play this Sunday. The Colts enter the game with a 3-6 record and sit in last place in the AFC South. The Black and Golds are 6-2 and enter Sunday with a first-place hold on the AFC North. The Steelers have 5 home games left on their schedule, and their 3 road games are all against teams with losing records. The first of those, this Sunday against the Colts. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock.
Now for some local sports news, Point News reporter Josh Krupp caught up with the Point Park women's basketball team ahead of the start of the season.
The women's basketball team took to the Student Center gym for Media Day ahead of the start of the Pioneers 2017-18 campaign. The women returned 2 full-time starters from last year's squad in seniors Marissa Agers and Bailey Bulika.
We have good chemistry, I think. We have a lot of depth this year as well.
Sam Weir also returns to the Pioneers again for her junior season after sitting out last year with an injury.
So I just think that we're a lot more versatile than the teams I played on previously.
Shania Rivers was named the team captain this season ahead of her senior year.
I believe we could go all the way. We just have to trust and believe in the system, and I think we're going all the way.
We also got to see the men's basketball team at Media Day in their new uniforms for the first time as the Pioneers prepare for the next season. Gavin Rajapale returns for his senior year and was named as one of the 10 players on the RSC preseason all-conference team.
I think the biggest difference right now is that we're gelling quicker than last year's team. Right now, everybody's kind of buying into the family atmosphere, and we're sharing the ball.
A new addition for the men's and women's basketball teams this year, not necessarily a player, but a brand new gym, a new home facility for the teams after 20 years at CCAC South, now playing their home games at CCAC Allegheny.
I'm going to bring the energy every time, every second. You know, like my role, get the rebound and then give the ball to the guys and let's get going.
Their first game at their new home venue of CCAC Allegheny is November 22nd against Washington Adventist. Reporting for Point News, I'm Josh Krupp.
So Josh, speaking of this weather, it's getting cold. So I heard you have some records going on with Pittsburgh. What do you know?
Yeah, we could see some records this morning or this weekend moving in. Saturday, the whole region like we talked about. Today, though, it's the coldest that it's been since March, right? A span of 231 days since we saw the low that we saw this morning. 21 degrees the low tomorrow with a wind chill of 15.
Well, I'll be sure to stay inside. That does it for this week's Point News. Be sure to join us next Thursday live at 2 p.m. for more news you can use.
Thanks for tuning in. Have a great week, Point Park.